So, my friend, do you have a new opportunity that's come up unexpectedly during this Mercury retrograde, but you're scared to commit? It sounds like a good idea, but it's a retrograde. And everyone always says during Mercury retrograde, don't make any commitments, don't sign any contracts. Well, I have good news for you. This Thursday, November 20th, 2025, is my favorite part of every Mercury retrograde. It's the Mercury Cazimi. It means that Mercury is conjunct with the sun, or some people say it's in the heart of the sun. And during the Mercury retrograde, this is a moment of clarity. So insights can come through, information can be revealed. And if you do have to sign a contract or make a commitment during a Mercury retrograde, the Mercury Cazimi day is a great day to do it. And frankly, anytime afterwards. There are some astrologers, and I'm in that camp, who think after the Mercury Cazimi can be the action phase of the Mercury retrograde if there is something you do need to move on, if there is something that can't wait until Mercury goes direct. And yes, there is still the potential that there may be a key piece of information missing for you or the other person. So, if at all possible, maybe you can set it up as a trial run if you want to commit to this opportunity. Maybe you can put in some kind of language that says we revisit this in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, when you'll have more information and both parties will have more time to get to know one another. This is an option, something to think about. But in general, the day of the Mercury Cazimi, Thursday, November 20th, could also be a great day just to set aside some time to do some writing, some planning. Maybe you haven't looked at Q1 for 2026 or the first two quarters of 2026. This could be a great day to set aside some time to begin looking at that planning because you'll have more support from Mercury, which is about communication and our ability to digest information. So that might be something to consider. This could also be a great day for maybe just journaling or maybe doing some vision board work. If you like to do vision boards, if you like to set aside time to do that. Uh, Anything that requires communication. So maybe there's a project that you've been stalled on for the last few months. Maybe there's an outline for a presentation or a book or a course that you've been struggling with. This could be a great day to look at that as well. I think I'm actually going to set aside some time to do that for myself since I've been having some issues with a course that I am looking at as well. So that would be a great day to do that sort of thing as well. But in general, I just love the energy that comes from a Mercury Cazimi. Whenever that day happens during the Mercury retrograde, I just feel more energized. I feel more alive. I just feel like I'm more on it. I'm in the flow. I'm in the zone. So if there are particular activities where you need that kind of energy, if you can schedule it for the 20th, highly recommend it. But even the day after, you still have some of that energy as well. But like I said, this is the nice part of the Mercury retrograde. It's going to be in the action phase. And still, again, take the usual Mercury retrograde precautions with all the other things like driving and traveling, set aside extra time. Again, we do have the Thanksgiving holiday next week, right before Mercury is about to turn direct on the 29th. I can't remember the exact date for Thanksgiving. I think Thanksgiving is either the 27th. Let me look at my calendar real quick. Yeah. So this could be a little tricky because Thanksgiving's on the 27th. Mercury stations direct on the 29th. And so sometimes that 24 to 48 hours before a planet stations retrograde or direct, sometimes it can be more intense. And again, we do have Mercury retrograding in Scorpio next week. So just be mindful again around the holidays. People might be extra intense. So if you have challenging family dynamics, maybe on the Mercury Cazimi day, the 20th, you set aside some time to map out and plan how you're going to deal with difficult family members or difficult friends that you know you're going to be interacting with on Thanksgiving. That could be other good use of this day. Come up with a plan. You know, how are you going to navigate? Maybe trying to minimize the conflicts. Like if you have a family that always wants to argue about politics on Thanksgiving, is there a strategy on how to avoid that happening or removing yourself from the situation if you don't want to get involved in that? I know some people have family members that they're on complete opposite sides of the political spectrum and they're never going to agree. And so maybe you can set some ground rules about what's not going to be discussed on the holiday. Or, how can we agree to simply disagree? There are people who find Thanksgiving to be a really difficult day, not only because of family dynamics, but just because of what it represents in our culture. What's happened to the indigenous communities. For many indigenous communities, Thanksgiving is a day of mourning. And so, we want to hold space for that as well. And if you're someone who feels that way about it, like I've always had conflicts around celebrating Thanksgiving partly for that reason. I mean, I do love the opportunity to get together with family and friends, and I like having the time off from work. And I like that it's a holiday where I get to see people that I really only see them on Thanksgiving, certain family members, certain family friends. And at the same time, I don't like necessarily having a holiday that to me personally feels like it's a celebration of genocide. So, I've had to find ways to sit with that, find ways to acknowledge that in myself. And, I know there are other people who do events on that day with Indigenous communities. So maybe that's something you could look at on the 20th, or there are opportunities for you to do that sort of thing. Find a way to honor where you are around this holiday. Give yourself space to do that next week as well. And again, the practical things if you are traveling around Thanksgiving, double, triple check all of your itineraries, print them out ahead of time in case the electronic apps are not working, because that could be a part of this Mercury retrograde. That does happen during a retrograde. So just, be mindful of that sort of thing as well. But overall, I just really want to come in quickly and tell you that Thursday, the 20th, that is a great day to sign a contract or make a commitment if you do need to make a commitment, or even in the days following. We only have basically one more week of Mercury retrograde to go. So hang in there. If it's been a tough one for you, hopefully it will begin to get better, especially after the 20th. And again, do what you need to do to honor yourself, take care of yourself, and give yourself grace, give others grace, and just wishing you so much love, so much support. Oh, and again, I do want to remind people that I do have my Skool community, $9 a month or $50 for the whole year. I also am doing one-to-one sessions. I'm doing email birth chart readings. So I'll have links to all of that below. And again, I do ask people to like the videos if you're receiving value from them, subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I do appreciate all of the support, and wishing you all so much love. And I will be back next week. Peace and blessings to you all.